What are some of your products? Because I see you have like a full table full of different stuff. So, what are some of the things that you have in your product line?
So again, we have an entire collection from skincare to cosmetics. Our skincare line is 98% botanical based. So it's skin food, gentle yet very effective and efficient. So it's just amazing. It's nothing like it. Our cosmetic line, we specialize in our indigenous shades because for so many years we haven't had no face or no representation in the beauty industry. So I've created a category for us, so our future generation now can see themselves soon in stores and they have some type of representation correctly and respectfully. And we proudly operate on and off the reservation. And we're the first Native American beauty brand to have 2 physical locations. One in Gallup, New Mexico is our Ah-Shi Beauty Studios. That's our main office. It's our multimedia showroom. We have a full set, so we create a space for our native makeup artists that again don't have no space in the beauty industry, and they finally got a place to come and create and try the products and create content with me. So again, we're just creating space and a new category in the beauty industry. So in a way, decolonizing the beauty industry.
Wow, that's so cool. I mean, and this is something that you don't, I mean, I haven't heard of anybody taking on this kind of a business focus in the beauty industry like you are. Where does the inspiration come from? I know you kind of talked about it a little bit and just not seeing a lot of representation, I'm sure, when you were growing up, trying to shop for makeup or even finding shades that can match your skin tone. So, you know, is it a little bit of the representation not being there, or even just, you know, culturally just trying to find products that people can identify with or align with? What are your thoughts?
It's really both. Because again, the beauty industry has been here forever. We've been here forever, and we're still here. And I wanted to make sure that our store, our location, our main location, it shows the world that, hey, we're more than just artists. You know, we can become the next multi-million-dollar company soon. And I want to make sure that I bring it home. Because being on a reservation, there's no jobs. There's some jobs, but there's not that many. We have talented youth that have so much to offer to the world. So as a businesswoman, what do? You solve problems. And the problem, again, no jobs, so I get to create jobs on my reservation and off the reservation. So that's really my big focus, is not just selling makeup, but to create opportunity for the people, my people, and not just my tribe, but other Native nations across Turtle Island. So not just the United States, but again, Turtle Island. Turtle Island is the whole North America, and I cannot wait to show the world. And Ah-Shi Beauty will become the next timeless, iconic beauty brand in the world.
That's awesome. So, you know, you mentioned jobs and just the fact that there are not a lot of jobs on the Navajo Nation, a lot of tribal communities across this country. Coronavirus in particular has hit the Navajo Nation especially hard. I think that per capita we lead the country in the number of confirmed cases. So talk to me just about, take me back to, you know, early March when things really started to ramp up here in the United States. You know, when did you kind of start to get the feel that something was going to be happening? It could impact my business, my stores, my family, my community. Take me back to that.
Honestly, it started the week of my grand opening on March 7th. And it's bittersweet because that day is historic for the beauty industry, period. We're the first to open an official storefront, Native American owned beauty brand storefront. And I was watching the news, keeping an eye on everything, and I'm like, whoa, New York is getting hit hard. I already started noticing that, you know, I was at Home Depot and I couldn't even get disinfectant sprays. But the thing is, like, luckily I'm a germaphobic, and we always keep our studio and our store clean, and my staff knows that gotta sanitize every 5 minutes if you need to. If you're standing there, then you better be cleaning. So I'm really, really big on that because, you know, it's a very personal thing. So yeah, very early in, before my grand opening, I had a feeling that something's gonna happen. And sure enough, a week after, I voluntarily shut down because as a business owner, my staff, my customers' health and well-being is my top priority, and I could not risk them. And even though we didn't have that many cases at that moment, but still, it was like they had to prepare for a 2-week quarantine that I've been hearing about. So I was like, okay, team, we have to prepare. I don't know what it is, but it's nothing like it before. So be with your families right now, prepare for being home for at least 2 weeks. And I was hoping it was just 2 weeks, but then here we go, we're extending out. We start off with a curfew from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that started throughout the week, and then we started a 57-hour curfew. So I'm glad I again shut down for families and myself to prepare, because I live on a reservation. I have livestock, and the closest Walmart is Gallup, which is an hour and a half away. So that's just my distance. Other families, they are probably 2 to 3 hours away from a Walmart. Well, we have it here in Houston. It's right across the road. It's in striking distance. For us, it's very, very challenging because it's a commute, and we are running out of stuff. And like Houston, everyone else, where's the toilet paper? And that was ours too. Like, what's going on? So it was very stressful.
Yeah.
Very stressful.
And so, just from a business perspective, obviously, barely trying to open up the doors and get things going, and then to have it completely shut down for this long of a time, is your business going to be okay? Are you going to be able, because you have 2 physical store locations that you're trying to maintain here. So talk to me about that. What is the future of the business looking like?
We're still moving forward. We're gonna get through the storm. We're online again. We started off online, so we're back online. However, I'm just staying on top of the CDC regulations and prepare myself for when I'm able to open up. It really hurt us. It hurt not just me, but my staff, who were relying on being able to work. So that really put a big toll on the mission that we're going forward. But I know that we'll overcome this. We're staying again afloat with online sales, which is great. I do virtual appointments with my Ah-Shi Beauty cuties, my customers, and so that they can still just get to know the brand and know the product. And I feel it's more personal, and that's what I love about it. It's like they're talking to me. They're not talking to anybody else. They're talking to me, the person behind all of this, and it's a great one-on-one. And I believe that everything, there's good and bad too. So I'm just turning it into a positive and moving forward.
And how is your family doing? Are they hopefully healthy and okay?
Yes, very blessed that my family, my close family in Bishoptown, we haven't got infected, thank God. But extended family, we heard that they did, and they're recovering. Recently, a very good family friend of ours, his name is Frederick Thompson. He's a well-known singer of a res band called Aces and Wild, and he just passed due to COVID. And that really hurt me because he watched me grow up since I was a kindergartner, and he played at my grand opening. So that, oh my God, it's really hard to know that it's so close, and it's very serious. And I continue to stress to my followers that are home, please stay home, be careful, because it does not discriminate. COVID is not. It's going to go to whoever's there. And I just want my family and my tribe and everyone around the world to be safe, and we'll get through this.
And what do you think is the one thing that people just don't understand about our tribal communities, especially when it comes to COVID-19? I personally, even people in my own newsroom who interact with me, talk with me all the time, a lot of them have never been out to a tribal community before, so they don't understand some of the challenges. And I think ABC News recently went to they were mostly in Gallup, but I mean, close enough. But they showed what it looks like, what it's like to live out there. And I think a lot of my coworkers were really shocked to see that. The living conditions, what they consider, extreme poverty, but for those of us that grew up around it, it's nothing new. So what do you think is the biggest thing that people in the United States and across the world need to understand about our communities, now that it's really being exposed and a light is being shined on it right now?
Okay, so we don't have the luxury of saying this is ours. There's so many red tape. There's so many policy and procedures that we have to go through just to get a water line, just to get a home site lease, just to get power line, just to do anything, just open a business. There's so many red tape. It's not as easy as people think. I read comments as well, like, wow, why can the government just put water lines down and put power lines up, and it seems so easy, but they need to understand that, again, our reservation is the size of West Virginia, it's huge, and we're the largest populated tribe, and we live so far apart that running a water line to one house is gonna cost a lot of money. So yes, it's very, very expensive. And honestly, my family in Bay Street, we barely got running water and when I was a junior in high school. So again, the way people see it, like, okay, if you don't have running water, you don't have electricity, it's just horrible. But honestly, it's really not that bad. Despite other living conditions that others have, there is a way that it's still okay because it's our way of life in a way. We don't just realize like, hey, this is a light switch, that's it. No, we live from Mother Earth. We have teachings that go beyond the technical world that we call the modern world nowadays. So we're still balancing traditional life and modern, and it's a really hard mix to keep our culture alive and still live this modern day world. But if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change anything because that's what made me who I am. Growing up in a traditional hogan when our house was being built and being able to live that lifestyle. We have sheep, we have cows, and we all do. And to hold on tight to it. So there is a beauty of our reservation that I'm trying to showcase through my brand. We do have a luxury lifestyle. Our landscape is priceless. Our jewelry, our artisans, our culture is priceless. It's luxury. That's my luxury, and that's our luxury. So yes, the world's seeing some really bad images, but it's my job as an ambassador of our nation, as a business owner, to show a different light. That, hey, we're more than just what you see on TV. And we're gonna overcome this just like everything else that we overcame.
Wonderful. And when did you get started with the brand? What year did you start working on this?
2012.
Okay,
So,
2012. And then was the store in Gallup, was that one affected with like shutdowns and stuff? I know
Yes.
Gallup shut down for a little bit too.
I just shut them out both at the same time because Gallup is a melting pot on the res, especially with our reservation in Navajo Nation, because it's connected to Zuni, it's connected to Pueblo. We're all right there, and it's like on highway, Interstate 40. So everybody travels there. It's a Route 66, it's historic. So knowing that everyone from New Mexico agency, Arizona, all 5 agencies, they all come to Gallup. So I already knew that, hey, this place is going to be really, really bad. It might be the next hotspot, and sure enough, it became the next hotspot. So shutting down Gallup was a big decision that I had to make for my staff that lives in Gallup and the community and my customers that live there as well. So safety first, and definitely that is shut down.
Okay. Do you have any idea when you might possibly be opening either store back up? I know it's like a hard question. Nobody knows what's gonna happen with this. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just got news that they extended the stay at home till August. So again, as a business owner, you're like looking at everything, like looking at your numbers, like, okay, Seiki, what do you do? Be creative. Okay, I gotta continue to push online sales to stay afloat. My staff, I'm trying to be creative as well to see how I can get them going again. It's really, really hard, but luckily we have technology, so I'm really pushing back to online. But eventually, I know for a fact I will reopen. Again, before I do that, the safety is my top priority of my people. And again, we just have to hope and pray. And really, there's so many good people on our reservation who really stepped up. Yeah. Our president, President and Lizer, they're doing a great job. The community members, so we are truly helping ourselves as well, but you understand our reservation is so huge. Our people have limited resources, and it's not as easy as people think of just going to a local food bank. Like our people have to travel hours just to go to this local chapter house to get food, to get water, just simple necessities. So I really appreciate everyone who have donated to the different oh my God, different programs that people instill to help our people. So I'm really excited about that. I'm very thankful for everyone who is wanting to learn about our reservation and how to help continue to do so, because we have a long fight to go. But again, I know for a fact we will definitely get through this, and I'm very thankful that so far, we're moving forward and finding the curve.
Sure, yeah, I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen with this thing, or what twists and turns are up ahead. How many staff do you have?
12.
Okay, so 12 staff members. And then your Houston connection, what's your connection here to Houston? And you're trying to also expand the brand here as well. Talk about that.
Yes, so moving forward, I plan to open a beauty studio, the same format as my Gallup studio. I want to bring, how they have Chinatown, African town, all this stuff. So I'm trying to create this native town here in Houston because we need it. And also, I've been networking here in Houston. I have a great mentor, Kim Roxy of LaChach Beauty. I just been watching her story, and I message her here and there. She really inspires me, and there's other brands that inspire me, but for her to be here in Houston, just a call away, I feel like that's really great, because I don't have that in the native beauty world. I don't have someone I can just call up, like, hey, what's the next move? So having that type of representation on both sides, because I'm native and I'm Black, is really very powerful and very helpful for me. I also have a satellite office in Oklahoma City. So your girl is expanding, so watch out.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank
I mean, I know
you.
it's tough times right now, and it's, a little uneasy, but I mean, you are determined to keep this thing going. We've talked to a lot of other business owners where they're, nervous and afraid, but I think that you're just staying the course and staying positive about things, and, I think you're pretty much positive that you're gonna come out on the other side, so.
Yeah.
Awesome, great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was great talking to you. Let's move over here and